Welcome back to Beyond the Secret. In Part 1, we established that clear outcomes are the foundation of change. But clarity alone is not enough. Because even with a powerful goal, if your emotional state is weak, fearful, or distracted, your behavior will not align with your intention. In Neuro Linguistic Programming, this is called state. State determines behavior. Behavior determines results. And here is the truth. You are never neutral. You are always in a state, master state, and you begin to master outcomes. In Neuro Linguistic Programming, NLP, state refers to your total experience in a moment. It includes your emotional condition, your physiology, posture, breathing, muscle tension, your focus of attention, and your internal dialogue. State is not just how you feel, it is the combination of body, focus, and meaning. Change the state, and perception changes. Change perception, and behavior changes. Most people believe they act first and feel later. In reality, it is the opposite. Action follows emotion. Emotion drives decisions. If you feel confident, you act differently. If you feel fearful, you hesitate. If you feel focused, you perform better. If you feel distracted, you underperform. State always precedes performance, so if you want different results, you must learn to change your state on demand. Here is a hard truth. You don't get what you want. You get what your state supports. If your goal is success, but your dominant state is self-doubt, you will sabotage progress. If your goal is connection, but your dominant state is guarded, you will push people away. State is the gateway between intention and manifestation. The subconscious mind will not act outside the emotional range it believes is safe. One of the simplest NLP principles is this: the body and mind are linked. Change your posture and your confidence shifts. Change your breathing and anxiety decreases. Move your body and your energy changes. This is why peak performers adjust their physiology before performing. They do not wait to feel ready. They change their state physically first, and the mind follows. The second component of state is focus. What you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, your state becomes heavy. If you focus on opportunity, your state becomes resourceful. Focus determines meaning. Meaning determines emotion. So, learning to shift your focus intentionally is one of the fastest ways to change your state. Ask better questions. Look for possibility. Train your attention. Your internal dialogue is constant, even when you are not aware of it. The tone, speed, and words of that inner voice influence your emotional state. If your internal voice is critical, your state shrinks. If your internal voice is encouraging, your state expands. Repetition builds emotional patterns. So change the voice, and you change the state. This is where NLP begins to connect back to the language work we discussed earlier. In NLP, we distinguish between resourceful and unresourceful states. Fear is unresourceful. Confidence is resourceful. Confusion is unresourceful. Clarity is resourceful. You may not control every external event, but you can learn to shift into a more resourceful state before responding. That is power. That is training. And that is the difference between reacting and creating. Let's make this practical. Stand tall, pull your shoulders back, take a slow, deep breath. Now recall a time when you felt confident. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel that feeling again. Notice what happens. Your state just changed, not because the world changed, but because you directed your nervous system. That is state control. In Part 1, we learned that outcome gives direction. In Part 2, we learned that state provides energy. Direction without energy stalls. Energy without direction scatters. But together, They create momentum. State is the bridge between intention and action. In Part 3, we will explore representational systems, how the mind encodes experience through visual, auditory, and kinesthetic systems. Because once you understand how experience is structured, you gain even more control over state. Please subscribe to this channel and connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook. The links are in the video description below. I'll see you in Part 3.